Okay, so you're ready to listen to the recording and correct your homework?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, you're gonna have to listen carefully, right? Because I'm playing the audio from a speaker into my laptop because when I'm trying to play the audio on the laptop, it's not coming up, right? So please listen carefully and make sure you all can hear. So I'm gonna start now. Okay, so in January 2007, we are asked to find the volume in centimeters cube of the prism, right? But in the question, we were given
So I can't hear anything.
here, given the square, which is this here, is 144. So since we know the area. Wait, you also not hear anything?
No, nothing.
No.
Wait, what?
Barely.
Okay, just now, let me try it back. Area of this already, all we have to do is multiply the area of the cross section by the length, which is. Are you hearing that?
A little bit.
Okay, you're gonna have.
Barely.
Okay, I don't know why, but um, yeah, I don't know why that's happening, but that's the best I could do, right? So you're gonna have to listen real careful. I'm paying it as close as possible um to the mic. So let's try it again. Okay, so in January 2007, we are asked to find the volume in centimeters cube of the prism, right? But in the question, we were given that the square, the area of the square, which is this here, is
So
144. So since we know the area of this already, all we have to do is multiply the area of the cross section. Yes, Andre?
I can't hear a single thing.
That goes for everybody?
Yeah, cause my headset on
Yes.
full volume, and
Oh, I don't know why that is happening. Just a minute. Let me check.
she can't. He can't. It's 23 minutes though.
Yeah, I will send it after any WhatsApp group, right? Oh, I don't know why it's not you're not hearing. Section by the length, which is 30, and then we'll get the volume of the prism. Is that better?
Okay, yeah, it's much better.
So the volume of the prism is equal to the area of the cross section multiplied by the length. So it's 144 centimeters squared multiplied by 30 centimeters, which will give us 4,320 centimeters cube. Okay, so that was for the first part. So the second part of the question, we are asked to find the total surface area in centimeters squared of the prism. So we know that the cross section of the square, it was given as 144 centimeters squared, right? So we need to find the length. So to find the length, it's just the square root of 144 centimeters squared. And the reason why we are finding the square root is because remember the area of a square is side by side, right? So side by side. So that means something multiplied by something would have given us the area of the cross section of the square, which is 144. Sorry. Yeah, 144. So to find the length, we have to find the square root of that, which will give us 12 centimeters. So remember we are being asked to find the total surface area, right? So um, if the area of this is 144, and so we need to find the area of the square to the back here as well, right? So all we have to do is say the area of front and back is equal to 144 centimeters squared multiplied by 2, which will give us 288 centimeters squared. So that figure will account for this as well as that. So now we need to find the area for this piece here, right? So remember we found a length to be 12, right? For the square, this is 12, 12, 12, So if this is 30 and this is 12, and it's just 12 by 30 to find the area of this rectangle here. So the area of rectangle is equal to length by breadth, which is 30 centimeters by 12 centimeters, which will give us a total of, just a minute, 30 by 12, just double checking, yes, 360 centimeters squared. So since this represents the area for one of the rectangle, and we have 1, 2, there'll be 1 on this side, 3, 4, we just see this figure multiplied by 4, which will give us a total of 1440 centimeters squared, of course, right? So this accounts for all of the rectangles. But now remember, we just found the area of the front and back. So all we have to do is say 1440 centimeters squared plus 288 centimeters squared, and the total area will be 1728 centimeters squared, of course, right? So that's for the first and second part. That's just for E. So let's look at B now. So in part B, we are asked to find the length of the minor arc MN, right? So that's this piece here. This is an arc here, okay? And the formula for that, we know the arc length is theta over 360 by 2 pi r. Theta represents the angle, and in this case, the angle is 45 degrees. So it's 45 over 360 multiplied by 2 multiplied by pi. They didn't give us what pi is, did they? No, I'm not seeing that. No, they didn't give us what pi is. So 2 by, we get it 22 over 7 multiplied by the radius, and the radius in this case is 15. Where did I get 15 from? Remember, the radius is from the center of the circle to the circumference. So that's 15 here, right? So on our calculator, we will type in this 45 over 360 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 22 over 7 multiplied by 15, and we will get 11 and 11 over 14, which is basically 11.79 to 2 decimal places. So 11.79 to 2 decimal places. So the next part of the question is asking us for the perimeter of MON. So that is MON, right? So we have to find the perimeter, sorry, MON, so we have to find the perimeter of that. So basically, what does that mean? It means that we have to find the length of the arc, right, which is the arc length, which we work out to be 11.79. We have to find, well, that's the length here, so basically that's asking us to find the perimeter, well, the arc. So it's this, we just work out this, then we add it to 15, and of course, if this is the center of the circle, if this is 15, that means here is also 15, because the center of the circle, if this was a circle, the center of the circle is in the middle. So any point extending from the center to the circumference, in this case it is 15. So any point extended from the from the center to the circumference will be 15. So if this is 15, this is 15 as well. So in that case, it will be 11.79. Of course, it's supposed to be centimeters. Centimeters plus 15 centimeters plus 15 centimeters will give us 4178 centimeters, of course, to 2 decimal places. So next we're asked to find the area of the sector. The area of the sector is theta over 360, where theta represents the angle, multiplied by pi r squared. Again, the reason why we're using pi r squared because that comes from the area of a circle, right? And arc length, this deals with the circumference, so that's why we use the circumference formula here, right? I explained that when we did the handout. So theta in this case is 45 over 360 multiplied by pi, which is we're using as 22 over 7 multiplied by the radius, which is 15, of course, squared. So on our calculator now, we will say 45 over, sorry, 45 over 360 multiplied by pi, which is 22 over 7, multiplied by 15 to the power of 2, which will give us that. Now, if you want it in decimal form, which is ideal, just press back the fraction button and we will get 88.39 centimeters. It's area per centimeter squared, of course, the two decimal places. Right, so let us look at May 2007. So this is a question similar to the one that we got before, right? In this case, we are asked to find the length of the edge AB in centimeters and then the total surface area of the prism in centimeters squared. So let's see what we are given here. So the question is asking us to find the length of AB here, right? But they tell us here that the volume is 960 and they said the length of the prism is 15. So now we have to use the formula and manipulate it a little bit to figure this out, right? So the length of AB is equal to, I'm writing it here, well, finding the length will require us to know that the area of the cross section is equal, sorry, multiplied by the length. In this case, it's 15 centimeters. It's saying that it is equal to the volume of 960 centimeters cubed. In other words, finding the volume is the area of the cross section multiplied by the length, right? So they give us the volume already. So we could let's rewrite it in a way that we can understand it. So the volume is equal to the area of the cross section multiplied by the length. So it's 960 centimeters cubed is equal to the area of the cross section multiplied by 15 centimeters. So basically what we want to find is the area of the cross section. So we're given these two things. So we need to make this the subject of the formula. So basically all we do is take this multiplication by 15 and carry it across and it becomes 960 over 15, of course, centimeters cubed is equal to the area of the cross section. So 960 divided by 15 will give us 64 centimeters squared is equal to the area, or we could say area is equal to 64 centimeters squared. But that will account for the area of the square in front here, right? But we don't want the area of the square. And remember, the area of a square is side by side. So that means some side multiplied by the some side will give us 64. So that means something multiplied by itself will give us 64. That something is 8. So we need to know how to get 8, right? So the length will be 64 centimeters squared. Of course, we need to get rid of that square to get square root. So the square root of 64 is 8, and of course, centimeters. So the length is really 8 centimeters. So this is part 1. We just found the length, which is the 8 centimeters. Let's see how to do part 2. So if you all can recall, the surface area we found of the first square was 64, right? And remember, I have a square here, and there is one to the back. So that will be 64 multiplied by 2, which will give us 128 centimeters squared. And now we have a rectangle. So the area of the rectangle is going to be 4 multiplied by, remember this is 15. Let me zoom in for you. It's 15, and we just found this one here to be 8. So it's 15 by 8 will give us the area of the rectangle. And there are 4 rectangles. 1, 2, there's one to the back here, 3, and the one to the bottom here, 4. So it's 15 centimeters multiplied by 8 centimeters, right? So 15 by 8 will give us 4 multiplied by 120 centimeters squared, of course. And then this multiplied by 4 will give us 480 centimeters squared. So to find the total area, it will be the 128 centimeters squared plus this 480 centimeters squared, which will give us 608 centimeters squared. And that would be the end of May 2007. So are there any questions before we move on? Say no.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the question, Sanjay?
The video kinda laggy and your voice not matching up to when you're seeing this stuff.
Oh, well, I can't help that one then. But well, I'll send the video right after this. I'll send the videos, but it'll be sent in pieces, right? So not to worry too much about that.
Okay.
I'll try to match it up just now. Okay, just a minute. So the next question is May 2000. We have to do number 5, and then we will do number. Oh, yeah. So just number 5 then. So the diagram below, it shows exactly what is up here. We have to calculate the length of RS, which is here, and we are also asked to find or state the value of X. And then we are asked to calculate the perimeter of the entire floor. So perimeter is the distance around, so it's the distance right around we have to calculate. And then we are asked to calculate the area of the entire floor. So as you can see, we have A and B, so we can find the area of A and then find the area of B and then add them together. That's what you do for compound shapes. And this is clearly a compound shape, right? And then we are asked, they said in section A of the floor, it is to be covered with flooring board measuring 1 by 20 centimeters. How many flooring boards are needed for covering section A? So, let's get started. So they're asking us to calculate the length of RS, right? So if you look carefully, R starts here. R plus S, sorry, RS plus 2 will give us this length here, right? Which is, as you notice, 8, right? So that means that RS plus, sorry, just now, let me zoom out. RS plus 2 is equal to 8 centimeters, right? And if we have to find for RS, all we simply do is take this positive 2 and carry it across. So RS is 8 centimeters, take away 2 centimeters. That means that RS is 6 centimeters, right? And if you look closely, you would see that, of course, from here, 6 plus 2 will give us this 8 here. So that means the RS has to be 8. Sorry, 6. And now that we know RS is 6, right? And this top here is 10. And to find X, it will just be 10 take away 6, and we get the value of X is 4. So let's see. So X is just simply RS plus 10. Actually, no, sorry. X plus RS is equal to 10 centimeters. So x plus rs, which we just worked out to be 6 centimeters, is equal to 10 centimeters. So we don't want the 6, we just want the value of x. So 10 centimeters minus 6 centimeters, x is therefore 4 centimeters. Oh, my apologies, it's not centimeters, everything is meters, right? So take off meters and everything. Okay, and the next part of the question is asking us to calculate the area of the entire floor. Sorry, the perimeter of the entire floor, that's part B. So it's just 5. We just work out x to be 4, so 5 plus 4. If this is 3, that means here is 3. So 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 8 plus 3 plus 2. So this is 5 and this is 5 as well, so plus 5. And plus the 10 on top here, this will give us a total of 40. So the perimeter of the floor is 40 meters, right? And that's for a total of 3 marks. So let's see now, we are asked to find the area. So the area of A will be 5 by 10, or 10 by 5, it doesn't matter. And then 3 by 8. That's for B. So let's see here. The area of A is length by breadth, which is 10 meters by 5 meters, which is 50 meters squared. And then, of course, the area of B is length by breadth. Formula always goes first. The length is 8 meters multiplied by 3 meters, which is 24 meters. So the area of A and B will be, of course, meters squared. 50 meters squared plus 24 meters squared, which will give us 74 meters squared. Okay, so the question will tell us that the area of the flooring board, we want to find out for A, but the flooring board measure 1 by 20 centimeters. And since this question deals with meters, we will need to convert the centimeters to meters. So it will just be basic. Well, we need to just convert this, right? So to convert 20 centimeters to a meter, we just divide by 100. So, well, of course, 1 by this will give us 20 over 100 meters squared, which will work out to be 20 to 1, 20 to 10, 5, 1/5 meters squared, right? And since we know that, and we know it's just A we are dealing with, and the area of A is 50, we just divide this 50 by 1/5. So, um, 50 divided by 1/5, which will give us 250. So 250 boards are needed. Okay? And that's the end of this question. Okay, so the next question is May 2018. We are asked to calculate the value of x. Now, as you can remember, the area of the angles in a circle all add up to 360 degrees, right? So if this is 94 and this is 45, wouldn't it be um 360 take away, well, 94 plus 45, and we get 221. So the value of x is 221, right? Or you could have done it differently and say, okay, 94 plus 45 is 139, and of course, 360 take away 139, you would have gotten 221, right? So 221 degrees, obviously. Now, some people, well, in the past when I taught them this, they put centimeters. Please be aware of what you are dealing with. The metric unit here is degrees. So it's 221 degrees. Now, the next question asks us what percentage of students chose cricket? So, cricket is 94 out of the 360 degrees, right? And we want it in terms of percentage. So, it will be 94 divided by 360, which is that, multiplied by 100. So basically, it will be 26.11%, and of course, that's corrected to two decimal places, right? And this one says, the last part, given that 40 students chose tennis, calculate the total number of students in the group. So basically, 45 students represent 40 students. Sorry, my bad. 45% is equal to 40 students. So if you want to find out what one, I said 45%, if I did, sorry, it's 45 degrees. So 45 degrees represents 40 students. So 1% would be 40 divided by 45, and whatever this is, we multiply it by 360. Because again, remember, it's saying here that, let me zoom up, 40% represents, sorry, 40 students are represented by this 45 degrees here. So that's why it was 40 divided by 45, and of course it's a circle we're dealing with, so that's why we multiply by 360 degrees. So in our calculator now, we will say 40 divided by 45 multiplied by 360, and we'll get 320 students. So it's 320 students. And that's it. If you have any questions, just let me know now, and that's the end of the homework. Okay, you want to turn off your audio, right? Okay, I'm going to start. Good day, everyone. In this session, we're going to be learning about quadratic simultaneous equation. The purpose of this is to get a quadratic equation and solve that quadratic equation to get two values for x. So before, with regular simultaneous equation, just making sure y'all could see and hear, right?
No, sir, I can't hear anything.
That goes for everybody, or?
I can hear too.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, Lord.
Can't hear anything either.
All right, just a minute. Let me see what's going on here.
On the bottom by your mic, it's me. It's me.
Yeah, I know. That's because I'm not playing the audio from the computer itself. I'm playing the audio from my phone on a speaker. Equations, we would get one value for x, and then we substitute that value. Y'all hearing that?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I'm gonna start back from the beginning, right? Good day, everyone. In this session, we're gonna be learning about quadratic simultaneous equation. The purpose of quadratic equation and solve that quadratic equation to get two values for x. So before, with regular simultaneous equations, we would get one value for x, and then we substitute that value to find y or vice versa. In this one, we're going to find two values for x. Therefore, if we get two values for x, that means that we're going to have to find two values for y. Now, just to jog on your memory a little bit, a quadratic equation is in the form ax squared plus bx plus c. Now, this, you would have seen it when we were factorizing. This is a quadratic expression. Now, if I add an equal sign, it becomes a quadratic equation. So now, we're going to look at January 2006, number 9A. We are given 2x plus y equals to 7, x squared minus xy is equal to 6. Now, we have to get this into we have to make this into a quadratic equation and solve it. So if you all notice, we already have the x squared here. And remember, we wanted in the form ax squared plus bx plus c. So this is our equation 1, and this is equation 2, right? So we will using equation 1, which is 2x plus y equals to 7, we will take this 2x and carry it across. So y is equal to 7 minus 2x. So now that we know the value of y, which is 7 minus 2x, wherever we see y here in equation 2, we are going to put 7 minus 2x. That's just simply how it is with quadratic simultaneous equations. So now we will say using. Now the reason I'm putting this is to explain to the person marking your paper exactly what you are doing. That way, if you just do all of these craziness, they will. Because, sorry, if you do all of this craziness without explaining it, you may lose a mark because the person needs to follow exactly what you are doing. Okay? So using equation 2, we have x squared minus x, and remember we know the value of y now. So when you see y, you will put 7 minus 2x is equal to 6. Now we use the distributive law. Well, we could write back x squared minus this by this, x by 7 will give us 7x, well, negative 7x, and then a negative by a negative will give us a positive, and then x by 2x will give us 2x squared is equal to 6. Now, if you notice, we have an x squared and we have an x squared here. So we can say x squared plus 2x squared, we just regroup, then this remains, so minus 7x is equal to 6. So we can simplify this. This will give us, so x squared plus 2x squared is like saying a mango plus 2 mangoes, which will give us 3 mangoes minus 7x is equal to 6. So we need to get this on this side, because remember it has to be in the form ax squared plus bx plus c, and this is our c, so we need to get c across. So 3x squared minus 7x, when this 6 comes across, it becomes negative 6 is equal to 0. And if you look here, we have a quadratic equation. So our value for A is 3, the value for B is negative 7, the value for C is negative 6. So remember this, A, C, and B. Y'all remember that, right? So AC is A by C, which is 3 by negative 6, which will give us negative 18, and then B is negative 7. So you have to ask yourself, what two numbers, when you multiply it, you will get negative 18, and those same two numbers, when you add it, you will get negative 7. So those two numbers will be 9 and 2. Now 9 by 2 will give us 18, but we want negative 18. So we make the larger number negative, and you all could read the handout on factorization to know why I use the larger number, right? So negative 9 plus 2 will give us negative 7. Now that we know what these are, and as you can see, the coefficient of x squared is not 1. So we have to use the long method. So again, these replace our bx term. So we are going to say 3x squared. Again, this is bx here, right? So now this is replacing bx minus 9x plus 2x minus 6 is equal to 0. So now we can group and factorize. So the common factor here is 3, but not just 3, 3x is common. 3x by what will give us 3x squared? 3x by x will give us 3x squared minus 3x by what will give us negative 9. This will be negative 3. And remember what you have here, you slap it on here. So what is common here? The answer is 2. So 2 by x will give us 2x. We want positive 2x, so this has to be positive here. And then positive 2 by negative 3 will give us negative 6. So we know our answer is correct. So what is common here is x minus 3. And what remains is 3x plus 2 equal 0. So now we have to find two values for x. So x minus 3 equals to 0. And 3x plus 2 equal to 0. This goes across. So x is therefore 0 plus 3, which is 3. So 3x, this positive 2 goes across. So 3x is equal to, it goes across, it becomes negative 2. We need to find x. This is multiplication. When it goes across, it becomes division. So x alone remains negative 2 over 3. Okay? So now, we need to find the value of y. Now the easier, well, we found two values for x, right? So we say we substitute x equal 3 into equation 1 because that is the easier one to work with, right? So equation 1 is 2x plus y equals to 7. So 2x, well, we know the value of x is 3 plus y is equal to 7. 2 by 3 is 6 plus y is equal to 7. We need to get rid of the 6. So y remains. When that 6 goes across, it becomes 7 minus 6. So y is equal to 1. Now we say when, sorry, we substitute y is equal to negative 2 over 3 into equation 1, which is 2x plus y is equal to 7. So 2 into negative 2 over 3 plus y is equal to 7. And for those of you who do not know how to do this, you just take your calculator, you put it on. 2 into negative 2 over 3 is equal to negative 1 and a third. So negative 1 and 1/3 plus y is equal to 7. Y is equal to 7. This goes across plus 1 and 1/3. Y is equal to 8 and 1/3. So our solution, we will say when x is 3, y is 1. And when, oh, sorry, this is supposed to be x equals 2/3. So when x is equal to negative 2/3, y is equal to 8 and 1/3. And that's our solution. Right, so in this next question, we're going to look at May 2006, number 9E. So in this question, as you can see, they said that y is equal to x plus 2 and y is also equal to x squared. So if y is equal to these two things, to equation, not these two things, to equation 1 and equation 2, if y in equation 1 is x plus 2 and it's saying that y is also equal to this, that means that this and this, both of them are equal. So x squared minus x squared is equal to x plus 2. And that being said, we can take this and carry it across. So this one is a little easier than the one that we did before. So we have x squared. When this comes across, it becomes minus x and minus 2 is equal to 0. And here we can easily see, by the way, this question is for 5 marks, right? The one before, it was also for 5 marks. So these questions, they come for around 5 marks and they're easy marks to get. So it's either to bring this one or the ones that we were doing before, or the worded problems one. That's the one with the manicu and whatnot. So a is equal to 1, b is equal to negative 1, and c is equal to negative 2. Now we have to find what is ac. 1 by negative 2 will give us negative 2, and b is negative 1. So we have to find two numbers. When you multiply them, you get negative 2, and when you add those same two numbers, you get negative 1. So that's 2 and 1 will give us 2. negative 2, and 1. Now the coefficient of x squared is 1. So in that case, we can use the shortcut method that I was telling you all about, where we just open two brackets, x in both of them, and we take out the values here. So minus 2 plus 1, and of course equal to 0. So we can split this into x minus 2 equals to 0, x plus 1 equals to 0. We carry the negative 2 across, it becomes positive 2, so that means x is 2. And of course, we carry the positive 1 across, and it becomes minus 1. So x is minus 1, right? So now we can see we substitute x equal 2 into equation, I would say, 1. It doesn't matter. So equation 1 is y is equal to x plus 2. So y is equal to the value of x is 2 plus 2. So y is equal to 4 in this case. Next, we say we substitute x equals negative 1. Remember, it doesn't matter which equation you use. So let's use into equation, let's say 2. So y is equal to x squared. Y is equal to negative 1 squared. Y is equal to 1. So our solution, when x is equal to 2, y is equal to 4. And when x is equal to negative 1, y is equal to positive 1. So that being said, I'm going to put up May 2011 number 9A as well as May 2012 number 9A part 1 for you all on the screen, and I want you all to try that one for me. So I'll try those two and then we'll correct. But we'll do one at a time, right? So we'll start off with May 2011. So are there any questions?
Any questions? You all there?
Yes, sir.
No question.
Okay, so are you all ready to try one? Or you just want me to put up the answers on the board so to save time? Not the answers, the working. You want to try it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can anybody just remember what was the question I said we had to do? I think was okay. Just now I'll find it. Don't worry. And I sent this handout for you all on WhatsApp already, right? So if you go in the group, you will see the handout. It's taking forever to come on my screen. Why is that? You all want me to resend the handout on WhatsApp? The question?
We did this for homework already.
Oh, y'all did it for homework?
You sent it as homework.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, in that case, let me just since you all had to do it for homework, I'll put it up. I'll just show the video then, right? You all okay with that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. Is the video? You all seen the video?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let me just put it up on my phone, so I'll get the audio. Okay. Just make sure all are hearing this, right?
Still leave it in and work it out.
Okay. I'll give all 2 minutes to work it out then. 2 minutes alone, eh? I'll give all a hint. This one is very similar to what we did before. You just have to equate them, right? just put them equal to each other and factorize it. And when you get two values for x, you then find the two values for y. So I'll give it 2 minutes only. Okay, when the video is up, I will not be able to see the chat, right? So I'm now gonna go through the chat to see if you all have any questions and stuff. Okay, no relevant questions. By the way, everybody here know the SBA mark, right? Emily, your answer is probably correct. And I know that some of you know the SBAs that was selected to go up for CXC. I believe it's Rai Corridon, Alicia Alfaro, Hawa, you were also selected, Alicia Marcel, and Regan. Those are the 5 people whose SBA was selected to go up for CXC. Is Kaleem online? Kaleem? Mohammed? Oh yeah, I'm seeing him. Kaleem again, Joy? Cheyenne, they did not select your SBA. And unfortunately, that means you are not going to pass the SBA component. Just kidding. Your SBA was fine, but they will just randomly select people's SBA just to see that I marked fairly and whatnot. That's the purpose of really they selecting your SBA. Kaleem, you there? At least say that you're there. So
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
okay, all right. Anuradha, you understanding? Anuradha, you there? Okay, great. Oh, Lyndon Anuradha is Galaxy A10. Who is Mali Mal?
Tom.
Tom, could you just put Tom or Huda? But are you there, Tom, or are you sleeping? I know you're always sleeping in class, but are you sleeping?
Can we get you?
Tom, wake up, boy. Okay, so can I correct the past paper now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Let me just make sure my volume is up. Okay, so I'm gonna press play, right? So let's look at the other question now. So the next question is May 2012, number 9A. Oh gosh, wrong.
So the question reads, y is equal to 8.
Wrong audio, sorry. Just a minute. Okay, I'm gonna play it now.
Okay, so this is the question that you all had to do just now for me. So as you all can see, it is the same as the one before, where y is equal to something and then y is also equal to something, right? So since the y's are equal, we can do something called equating. I was supposed to say that in the first.
Oh gosh, I forgot to press the play on the other one. Sorry. Let me just restart it. Sorry again about that. I forgot to press both of them together.
Okay, so this is the question that you all had to do just now for me. So as you all can see, it is the same as the one before, where y is equal to something and then y is also equal to something, right? So since the y's are equal, we can do something called equating. I was supposed to say that in the first, the other one, but I forgot, right? So we can equate them. So we can equate equation 1 with equation 2. So basically what that means is just saying x squared minus x plus 3 is equal to 6 minus 3x. So we can say x squared minus x plus 3, and now we are taking this and bringing it across. So it becomes minus 6, and this becomes plus 3x is equal to 0. So we have x here, and we have x here. So we can put them together. X squared minus x plus 3x minus, sorry, plus 3, and then minus 6 is equal to 0. So again, x and x squared is not the same, right? So x squared, when the signs are different, you find the difference, which is 2x, and you keep the sign of the greater number, so positive 2x. When the signs are different, again, you find the difference, which is 3, and you keep the sign of the greater number. So now that we have our quadratic equation, we can tell the values for a, which is 1, the value for b is 2, and the value for c is negative 3. So ac is negative 3, and b is 2. So two numbers, when you multiply them, you get negative 3, and when you add them, you get positive 2. Those numbers are 3 and negative 1, and 3 plus negative 1. Again, the coefficient of x is 1. Sorry, the coefficient of x squared is 1, so we can use the shortcut method. So we open two pairs of brackets. Sorry, we open a pair of brackets, x, and then we put the values here. Plus 3 and minus 1. Of course, equal to 0. So now we can split this in two. X plus 3 equals to 0. X minus 1 equal to 0. So we carry this across. So x is equal to negative 3. And we carry that 1 across. So x is therefore equal to positive 1. Now that we know that, we can safely say, of course, we substitute, and of course write out the entire word, right? Do not write subs. X equals negative 3 into, we can choose equation 1 or equation 2. I will choose equation 2 because it looks easier. Again, it really doesn't matter. So equation 2 is y is equal to 6 minus 3x. Y is equal to 6 minus 3, and the value for x is minus 3. So y is equal to 6 minus, and a minus is a plus. 3 3s are 9. So y is equal to 6 plus 9, which is 15. Next one, we substitute x equals 1 in 2. We could use back equation 2 because it's easy. Of course, you could have used equation 1. You would have gotten the same answer. It really doesn't matter. So y is equal to 6 minus 3x. Y is equal to 6 minus 3 into 1. Y is equal to 6 minus 3 by 1 is 3. Y is equal to 3. So our solution, when x equals negative 3, y equals 15, and when x equals 1, y is equal to 3. So that's it. So let's look at the other question now. So the next question is May 2012, number 9A. So the question reads, y is equal to 8 minus x, and then we have 2x squared plus xy is equal to negative 16. So this one is slightly different in the sense that they give us the value for y already. So y is equal to 8 minus x. So whenever you see y, you substitute 8 minus x. So let's see. 2x squared plus x, and we know the value of y, which is 8 minus x, is equal to negative 16. So we, again, the law of BODMAS tells us we work the brackets first, and we use the distributive law to get rid of the brackets. So this will give us positive 8x, and negative by a positive is a negative, and x by x is x squared is equal to negative 16. So we can bring this negative 16 across one time. So 2x squared plus 8x minus x squared plus 16, because the negative comes across, it becomes positive, equals to 0. So now if you notice, we have an x squared here, we have an x squared here, so we can put like terms together. So 2x squared minus x squared plus 8x plus 16 is equal to 0. So 2x squared minus x squared is like saying 2 mangoes, take away a mango, we get mango, plus 8x plus 16 is equal to 0. Now the value of A is 1, the value of B is 8, and the value of C is 16. So AC is 16, the value of B is 8. Two numbers, when you multiply them, you get 16. And those same two numbers, when you add them, you get 6. Those two numbers are 4 and 4. And of course, it's the coefficient of x squared is 1, so we can use the shortcut method. We open a pair of brackets, x, of course, plus 4 equal to 0. This will give us a perfect square, by the way. So we put down x plus 4 is equal to 0. X plus 4 is equal to 0. When we carry across the positive 4, it becomes x is equal to negative 4. And you do the same to this side. X is equal to negative 4. So in both cases, x is equal to negative 4. So we don't really need to do this twice. So we say we substitute x is equal to negative 4 into, I would use equation 1. This is equation 1, by the way. This is equation 2. So equation 1 is y is equal to 8 minus x. Y is equal to 8 minus the value of x, which we know is negative 4. Negative and negative is a positive, so 8 plus 4, y is equal to 12. Of course, if we're going to say this again, we substitute x is equal to negative 4 into equation 1 or equation 2, we are going to get back the same 12 again. So we don't need to say that. We don't need to repeat that step to save time in the exam. So you have to be conscious of that. Of course, if you do it again, you wouldn't lose any marks or anything, you just lose time. So our solution, when x is equal to negative 4, y is equal to positive 12. Now you can write back this again, because remember with quadratics, you get two values for x and two values for y, but it will be the same. Right? So you can leave it as this, or you can see, again, when x is equal to negative 4, y is equal to 12. Are there any questions? Any questions? Ladies and gentlemen, any questions?
No, sir.
All right, so that will conclude simultaneous equations as well as measurements. Okay, so we have 4 minutes remaining on this meeting. As soon as the meeting, I will give this time to you all to take a break for now. So you all have basically like a 5 minutes or 4 minutes break. And when this meeting ends, you all have to log back in as soon as possible, and then we're gonna do something called formulae, or in other words, making something the subject of the formula. Right? It's a very short topic. It'll take us probably like half an hour, and then I'll give you all some past papers, and then we're gonna start our new topic, which is relations and functions. Okay? And that will take us straight until 12:30. So take this time to take a break, a breather, use the washroom, get something to eat, and as soon as the meeting ends, you have to log back in, and I start in class, right? I'm not waiting on you. As soon as I I log back in. When the meeting is over, I'm starting class, okay? You all hear that, right? Right. So, formulae. Everybody hearing me and whatnot real good, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, just a minute. Let me just see who's chatting. Okay, great. So, we have used many mathematical formulae. Formulae is just basically the plural of formula in our study of mathematics thus far. So in consumer arithmetic, we use formula to calculate simple interest, measurements. We use formula to calculate the area and perimeter of various shapes, which we just covered, and you're all supposed to be familiar with what I'm talking about already, right? So basically, a formula is a mathematical rule or principle usually expressed as an equation involving more than one variable. So in using formulae, it is sometimes necessary to rearrange it to obtain any one of the variables in terms of the other. In solving equations, we would have used the additive and multiplicative inverse to isolate variables. In other words, I would have showed you all how to throw things across the formula and whatnot. So let's look at the first one. In example 1, we are given the formula V is equal to U plus AT, and they are asking us to make U the subject of the formula, make A the subject of the formula, and make T the subject of the formula. So let me just see, let me just pull it up here on the whiteboard. Just a minute. Y'all seeing me snipping stuff or no? Y'all see me snipping?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, this thing just capture everything. But... all right, just a minute. Whiteboard. Okay. Let me try paint. Just a minute. Okay, I will not use the whiteboard. I will use Microsoft Paint instead, right? So everybody seeing the formula up on the screen here?
Yes.
All right. So V, oh good Lord, just a minute. Right. So V, let me see if I can use a fatter brush. Yeah, could you not do that? V is equal to U plus A T. And the first one, we have to make U the subject of the formula, right? So basically, all we have to do is take this and carry it across. Yeah? So it will be V is equal, oh gosh, sorry. When AT goes across, it will be V minus AT is equal to U, or we can say U is equal to V minus AT. And we just made U the subject of the formula. Any questions about that so far?
No.
Okay, let me do number 2.
Sir,
Yeah.
could you do that one more time, please?
Hey, Tom, good morning. Welcome back.
Morning.
Right. So we're given the formula that we have here on top, right? And we have to make U the subject of the formula. So we want U alone on one side of the equal sign. So this does not belong here because we only want U. So we take it and we fling it across, right? So that will mean that V remains. When AT comes across, it becomes minus AT is equal to U, right? So we can rewrite this formula and say U is equal to V minus AT. You can leave it as this, and this is also correct, but ideally we'll want this, right? So this is part 1. part 2 now. You understand, Tom?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Part 2, we have to make A the subject of the formula now. So V is equal to U plus AT. So the easiest thing to carry across is the U. So you get V minus U is equal to AT. And what do we want as a formula? A. So what we simply do is take the T, and carry it across. Now what mathematical operation is binding the T to the A? Anybody could tell me? Multiplication, correct. So when that goes across, it becomes division. So V minus U all over T is equal to A. Or we can say A is equal to V minus U all over T. Whichever one you prefer to say, that's perfectly fine. Both of them are correct. I want you all to make T the subject of the formula now.
So I said you my answer.
Okay, I'm going to correct now, okay? So,
Sir, just hold on, sir. Just check.
huh?
I'm gonna send you mine to check.
Yes, Emily, your answer is correct. Sanjay, if you have the same answer as Emily, then yes, it's correct. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so the third one, well, part C, we have to make T the subject of the formula, right? So V is equal to U plus AT. So this does not belong here. That's the easiest thing to carry across. So V minus U is equal to AT. So next we want to carry across the A. Multiplication is taking place there. When it goes across, it becomes division. So we can say that, or we can say T is equal to V minus U all over A. Y'all got that?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
All right, great. So do we have any questions? No? Can I erase this? Everything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go back to the handout. All right. So obviously all of the working is here. Right. So in this case here now, we are given Px minus B is equal to A minus Q. Right? And they ask us to make X the subject of the formula. So you all want a minute to try it, or you all want me to do it for you?
Good.
We want to try it.
Okay, I'm gonna give you all 1 minute, only 1 minute to try it. I'm putting it up on the thing here. I'm just gonna see if I can find a stylus at home, right? Because when I'm writing with my finger, it's very annoying to write on my laptop with my finger. So I'm gonna see if I can find a stylus. I'll give you 1 minute.
This might be a real dumb question. But which X? It have two X.
Right. So that's why you have to carry things across and whatnot.
You know what? That was a real dumb question. I'm gonna be right back.
Okay. Okay, so by now you should be finished. Can I correct?
Hold on, sir. I'm gonna send him, man.
So I'm not finished that yet.
Okay. So this question will require a little bit of factorization, right?
Sir, I sent you mine.
Yeah, it's correct. Okay, I'm gonna correct because time is upon us. Okay, so we're given P. Oh, good lord. Brush that. Oh, good lord. No, I don't want that. Okay, great. So P x minus. Oh lord, this stylus is looking very crappy. Is equal to E. Okay. Px minus B is equal to A minus QX. You're seeing it on the screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yes.
we want to make x the subject of the formula. So we want all the x's on one side of the equation, right? And all terms that do not belong on this side, on that side. Yeah? So Px, when this negative Qx comes across, it becomes plus Qx is equal to A. And when B goes across, it becomes plus B. Now, as you can see, we have Px and we have Qx. So they both contain x, but they're both different because we have Px and Qx. That's like saying apple pie and apple tart. Those of you that don't know what it is, well, sorry for you. But okay, apple pie and apple chow. They both have apples in them, but they are totally different. You understand? You all following with that corny example?
Yeah, I understand.
Right. So what they have in common is what? And the apple, right? They have the apple in common. So in that case, you have to factorize it. So what is common is x. So you take the x out, and what remains goes in a bracket. So P, the positive sign is there, and Q is equal to A plus B. So you see how we get x to be by itself now, right? So all we simply do is ask ourselves what mathematical operation is binding that x to the PQ in brackets there. Multiplication is the answer. So you take this.
And divided by A plus B.
Correct. And you carry it across. So x is A plus B. And when multiplication goes across, it becomes division. P plus Q is the answer. Well, x is equal to A plus B over P plus Q. Everybody understand that? Any questions?
No.
Tom, you okay?
Yeah, I good.
All right.
Jana said no in the chat.
All right. Okay, so let's move on to another question. the formula involving fractions now. So let's say we were given this one and we were asked to make f the subject of the formula now. Do you all want to give it a try?
No, sir.
Okay, all right. Okay, so here we are given two sets of fractions and we need to make f the subject of the formula, right? So we just need to rewrite it first. So 1 over f is equal to 1 over u plus 1 over v. All right. Any questions so far? All I did was rearrange it to make it look a little better. No questions, right? So let's work out the right-hand side first. If we have 1 over u plus 1 over v, that's like saying, let's just put numbers to it. Obviously, the denominators are different, right? So you cannot possibly add them, because let's say we had 1 over u plus 1 over u, then you would have gotten 2 over u. But in this case, the denominators are different. So when the denominators are different, you have to find the LCM. So the LCM of u and v is uv. When the LCMs are different, you multiply them together, okay? So u into v, sorry, u into uv, the u and the u will cancel, and you're left with v. So v by 1 will give us v. Anybody confused about that so far? Say no.
Yeah, so you could just explain it over.
Sure, no problem. So the LCM here is uv. So I'll erase this when I'm finished, right? U into u cancel off, so you're left with v. And v by 1 will give us v. That's what is v coming here. Okay? So let me just write it back properly now. So we get v plus this v and this v will cancel off with each other, so you're left with u. U by this one here will give us u. Okay? So let me just write it back properly now. U. Right? And of course, 1 over f is equal to all of that. Now, any questions before I move on?
No, sir.
Okay. So in a case like this, we want to make f the subject of the formula now, right? So anybody can tell me what we have to do?
Multiply.
What kind of multiplication?
F, but cross multiplication.
Correct. So we cross multiply, right? Let me use a different color. Yeah, cross multiply. Everybody seeing that there? The cross multiplication?
Yeah.
Let me draw arrows to make it more specific. So that means that f will be f multiplied by v plus u is equal to the 1 will be multiplied by uv. Any questions so far?
So you can do that over, please.
Wait, so how come you don't put the f by u plus v over uv?
What are you talking about?
Well,
Okay, just now. Let me just re-explain for the sake of Tom. Okay, Tom, you understand where it's cross multiplication there, right? You understand
yeah.
up to there? Okay, great.
Yeah.
So all I'm doing is taking the f. Just now, let me see if I have a highlighter here. I don't think I have a highlighter. Okay. I'm taking this f and multiplying it by everything on top here. You follow?
Yeah.
That's the purpose of cross multiplication, right? So let me just quickly change the brush. So f by V plus U is equal to, and we're taking the 1 now, that is this one here, and we're multiplying it by this UV here. Yeah? And 1 by UV will just give us UV. Any questions so far, Tom? Or anybody else? Don't type it, right? Here, the phone, I can see.
Yeah, I understand now.
Right, great. So now we are taking this, because you want only F. This is multiplication taking place, right? So F alone remains here. UV remains all over, and of course you put V plus U to the bottom here because it's division. And that's our answer. Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, good. Well, let's show there are no questions, right?
None at all.
All right. So let us move on to another question. Right. Now we're gonna look at formulae involving roots and powers. So if let's just do a quick revision. If a squared is equal to b, then of course a is equal to b squared. You all know how I get that? Because I, of course, let me do this one quickly. This example here. Okay, so if we have a squared is equal to b, and they said then that means that a is equal to b squared. How did I get that? I need to get what is a. But to get rid of that square, we have to find square root, right? Now what you do on one side, you have to do it on the other side. The square root will cancel off. The square will cancel with this. And of course, you're left with a is equal to the square root of b. Any questions there?
No, so that seems pretty simple.
All right. So a, the square root of a is equal to b, and we are asked to find a, right? So if we are asked to find a, that's just an arrow, by the way. Let me just take off that. We want to get rid of this square root. So how do we get rid of a square root? We square it, right? And it will cancel off. So what you do on one side, you have to do on the other side. So this will cancel with that. You're left with a is equal to b squared. Just wanted to make that very clear before we start dealing with anything else. So let's see the question now we are given. I want you all to make u the subject of the formula. So let me snip it quickly. So this person to tell me what is u, you're getting a prize. Just send me a credit card. If I let you get your parents' credit card number and get the security code in the back, just pass it on to me. And I will send money to you. Just kidding, I'm just joking,
Wow, sir. Wow.
You all see the question, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. And these are...
Sir, 2 AS is past the question.
No. That's AR. That's R, sorry.
The comma after.
Oh, wait, no, wait. Just now, let me see. V squared is equal to 2u plus 2as. Yeah, that's part of the question, correct.
Is it?
Oh, okay.
And please, people, remember that starting from the month of April, every Sunday, we are going to have an online class from, I believe it's 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. And it's for everybody, not just Alia, it's for everybody, and it's a continuation. That is the only way I can finish the syllabus, okay? So starting from the month of April, I'm going to have classes. And if you miss it, well, that's to your detriment, okay? So please try and make every attempt to be present in that class. And I'm choosing the timing so that I know some people have church and temple and whatnot. And in fact, you're not supposed to have any church or any gathering anymore. So we can even do it at an earlier time, right? But I like my Sunday mornings as the only day I can actually sleep in late. But yeah, from around lunchtime till probably like 3, I could probably do it from 12 to 3. We can have the class, right? And that goes for everybody, not just this class. That goes for everybody. And I will not be reviewing anything that I do on the on the Sunday class. I will not be reviewing it in any of the other classes, okay?
So what's the time?
Huh?
What's the time for the class on Sunday?
I was thinking from 2 to 5. That's the better time for me.
So up until the morning too.
Well, yeah, I know some people might want to have things to do, so
The man went to sleep late.
yeah, that too, you understand? Now that I sleep late, I get up like the latest I can probably get up is like 9 o'clock in the morning. Okay, I see we have 9 minutes again. So
Sir, I have the answer.
just now, seeing Emily sent something. U is equal to square root of v to the power of 2 minus. Yeah, correct, Emily. Okay, let me correct quickly before the time runs out.
Sir, I have the same thing as Emily, except I have the square root of v squared minus 2as is equals to u.
Yeah, but that's the same thing, Sanjay. So let's see. We want to make u the subject of the formula, right? So we have let me just write it back quickly because I can't. I just always have to write it back. V squared is equal to u squared plus 2as. Okay, we want to make u the subject of the formula. So we're taking this, carrying it across, v squared minus 2as is equal to u squared. But we don't want u squared, we want u. So to get rid of that square, we have to find square root. What you do on one side, you have to do on the other side. So this square root cancels off with this square, and you are left with, of course, this square root here will also cancel off with this. Oh, no, sorry. I now realize it's the entire thing you're finding the square root of, right? So you are left with the square root of v squared minus 2as is equal to u, or we can have written u is equal to the square root of v squared minus 2as. Any questions so far?
No.
No? Okay, great. Before the time gets cut off, let's just quickly do one question. Example 16, I want you all to try this question. I'm giving you all 2 minutes for the sake of time. I only have 6 minutes remaining. So I'm giving you all only 2 minutes to try this question quickly.
Where did h come from?
Huh?
I'm not seeing h in this formula.
Okay, it's supposed to be r. Is it better now? Make r the subject of the formula?
Yes, sir. So I messaged you the answer.
Nah, that's wrong.
What?
It's partially correct, but it's wrong.
Partially correct. I have to do more working.
Yeah.
I have to get R on the other side.
Check Emily. Emily one correct.
Emily, you divide the Q so you get R is equals to P divided.
Don't tell me who will the answer.
Regan again, true Gail? Regan. Dion, what about you? Are you again, true? May I hear from you?
Yeah, so I get through, yeah.
Alright. Honey, I will on this chat.
No.
Billy.
No.
No. Yeah, senior, I think also.
No, she's not. I don't see the people name.
You stalking the people name for?
Go back and sleep, Tom.
Alright, let's correct because time is quickly running out. Okay, so we have to make R the subject of the formula, right? So Q, what's going on here? Q square root of R is equal to P. Okay, so multiplication is taking place here. So we need to get rid of that. Take Q and carry it across. Right, so we're left with the square root of R is equal to P over Q. All right, so we want to get rid of the square root. And remember before, to get rid of the square root, we have to do what?
Square it.
Correct. So we find the square, and what you do on one side, you have to do on the
You
other
do
side.
on the other side.
So this cancels off with that. R is equal to P over Q all squared, or could the person doing that stop it? R is equal to P squared over Q squared. Whichever one you got, you can leave it as that, okay? So I see we have 2 minutes again. I'm giving you all 2 minutes break and then log back in as soon as possible, okay? As soon as you can. So in 2 minutes, you can log back on, and I'm going to do our next question. As I said, I'm not waiting on anybody. We don't have time to wait on anybody, okay? Meanwhile, I'll pull out the past paper questions and stuff. So I'll see you all back in 2 minutes. I'm still here, but y'all won't be able to see what I'm doing. Yeah, so try these questions, and in 15 minutes, I'll correct it. Two S is equal to U T plus V T, right? And of course, we need to get rid of the 2 because we want to find, wait, just now, we want to find U. My bad. Sorry. So we want to take this and carry it across. 2S minus VT is equal, oh wait, no, I'm doing stripping this, sorry. We need to factor out the T. Just now, sorry, I confused. My bad, just now.
Sir, just use fast pass.
Right, so 2s is equal to uv t. Now, I just went and eat, and whenever I eat, that usually happens. Or when I'm hungry or when I don't eat. Right, so now we can distribute this t to get rid of the brackets, right? So 2s is equal to ut plus vt. Everybody clear so far? Nobody confused, right? Any confusions? All right. So we want to get rid of this vt, so we carry it across. So 2s minus vt is equal to ut. And of course, we want to make u the subject of the formula. So we take the t from here and carry it across. So 2s minus vt all over t is equal to u. Yes, folks?
Yeah.
All right, so that was the first one. Let's look at the second question. Right, so we have to make t the subject of the formula now. So p over 2 is equal to the square root of t plus r all over g. So the first thing we want to do is get rid of that square root, right? So to get rid of the square root, we have to square it. What you do on one side, you have to do it on the other side, right? So this cancels off with that. So you get p squared over 2 squared, which is basically 4, is equal to t plus r all over g. Anybody confused over? No? Okay. So we cross multiply now. So we want to make t the subject of the formula, agreed? So we can say 4 into t plus r is equal to p squared g, or gp squared, no matter. So 4t plus 4r is equal to p squared g. We take across this. So 4t is equal to p squared g minus 4r. And when we take this 4 across to make t the subject of the formula, just going across here, right? We will get t is equal to p squared g minus 4r all over 4. You all got that?
Yes, sir.
Of course, if you all got g p squared over 4 minus r, that's also correct, okay? Okay, let's look at the other question then. Okay, I have 10 minutes, so let's see how fast I can do this. That's John 2010, and yeah? You all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
When we were doing what's this topic, substitution, I did this question for you all, so you could go back in your notes and check for it, okay? I did this question already with you. I could clearly remember this question. So go back on substitution, in your notes on substitution, you will see I did John 2010, And I remember doing this question for you all, and it confused the living daylight out of you. Right? Or I think it was the question with C. I think it was this. But I believe it's
So
2010.
we did both of those questions in class.
Okay, great. So I'm not going to waste time doing that one, right? I'll just do Jan 2011. And if you still want an explanation on Jan 2010, you can just go on fast pass math, right? So Jan 2011, we have to express P as the subject of the formula. So I have 8 minutes. Let me see how fast I can do that. Let me adjust the brush. Right. So Q is equal to P squared minus R all over T. And we want to make P the subject of the formula. So this is the same as Q over 1. We can cross multiply here. Yeah. So Q by T will give us, anybody can tell me? Q by T is what?
TQ.
Huh?
TQ.
No, QT. But yes, it's the same thing. P squared minus R. And we want to make P the subject of the formula, so we're taking this and carrying it across. QT. I look at it, right? QT as in CUTIE, QT, QT.
Yes, so
okay, right.
yes,
That's why. Okay, right. No, nobody was like.
Sanjay just didn't want to say QT. That's why.
okay. Oh,
Just like to be extra.
I could tell. So it's equal to P squared. So we want to get rid of the square, right? So we have to find the square root. What you do on one side, you have to do it on the other side. This will cancel with this. So you will be left with the square root of QT plus R, which is equal to P, or you could say P is equal to the square root of QT plus R. Any questions?
Oh, sir.
No, sir.
All right. Just a minute. Where the rest of the class? I only seen 28 people online.
A bunch of them leave.
Shoot that to you, Sam.
You only have 28 right now.
A bunch of them leave. Left it.
Okay, Shavin, you hearing me? Cheyenne, you there?
I don't think and they have my.
Cheyenne, you there?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, what Ram Narayan, you there?
Yes, sir.
Bala. Bala. Hawa.
Ball and knockout.
You
Where's,
Bala just leave his laptop online and he win.
where's Hawa?
Oh, I said ball laptop.
Yeah, I think all them sharing a laptop.
No, cause how I had one just now and look in the chat, Mamadou name still there.
And where's Mamadou? He's not online anymore.
Feel like they're taking a longer break. They probably didn't think to come back.
Oh. And whose name is user? Okay. So here's what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to end this meeting now, and I'm going to have you all log back in. And when you all log back in, I'm going to start our new topic, which is relations and functions, okay? So I'm going to have you all, I'm going to end the meeting now. So please quickly log back in. Yeah?
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm gonna start. In this one, this topic is called relations and functions, right? So you need to know what is a relation and what is a function as well. Just now, let me see if I could zoom up here. Can you all see that there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so a relation is can you all see the cursor as well moving?
Yeah, kind
Yeah.
of small.
Okay, so a relation is a set of elements arranged in ordered pairs, and from coordinate geometry, you're also supposed to know what ordered pairs are, right? And of course, the first coordinate represents which one?
X.
And the second one is called?
Y.
Correct. So a relation is a set of elements arranged in ordered pairs. So we have 0, 0, 4, 2, 8, 4, 10, 5, and 16, 8. The domain, however, refers to the set of first element, sorry, refers to the first
16
element.
inch.
Was that? Hello?
Continue, sir.
Okay, so the domain refers to the set of first elements. So in other words, it's called the x value. I.e. means that is, right? So that is the x value. So from above, the pairs of x values would be, as you can see here, it's 0, then it's 4, then it's 8, 10, 16. Just now, I think there is something to point. Let me see. Point. Just now, one moment. Right, this here. So, no, that's not it. Spotlight. Right, oh, y'all seeing it? Can you all see it? This red thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first set of values are called, it's called the domain, right? It refers to set of first elements in the set, which is the x value. So we have 0, then 4, 8, 10, 16. So you can see them here, right? 0, 4, 8, 10, and 16. The range, however, refers to the second element of the set, so that is the y values. Right, so the y values. So from the above table, we can see the pairs of y values are 0, 2, 4, 5, 8, as you can see here. So the domain and the range, the domain and the range can be seen here. There is always some kind of relationship between the domain and the range. You'll learn about it just now, right?
Alrighty.
Huh? Somebody's talking to me?
No, sir.
Oh, okay, all right. So let's see. A function is a relation in which one element in the domain has one and only one corresponding value in the range. So again, a function is a relation. In other words, for it to be a function, one element in the domain has to be mapped onto one element in the range. It cannot be going to two elements in the domain cannot be going to two elements in the range. Okay. Now there are several types of functions. The first one is called a one-to-one mapping. So here you can see one element mapping onto one element here. Are you all seeing that?
Yeah.
All right. So this is a function here. Look at this one here. This is also a function. So it is a many-to-one mapping. So each element has is mapped on to one and only one element in the range. So as you can see here, each element is mapped onto one. So let it make a little more sense, right? Let's say number 4, this letter 4 here represents, let's just say Bala, right? And today is Bala's birthday. So
Thank you, sir. Thank you for remembering.
no problem.
Wait, for real?
And mine.
Nah, I'm
No.
playing.
Right. So let's just say 4 represents Bala's birthday, right? And this number 1 represents Hawa, Mamadou, and Tom. And Hawa, Mamadou, and Tom could both write a letter and send it to Bala on his birthday at the same time?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Right, that making sense, right? Now keep that in mind. Keep it in mind. You will see the purpose of the example just now. So this making sense, right? So in other words, this is a many to one. So many people are sending Bala a card on his birthday. So this is referred to as a many to one mapping. Okay? Let's look at this one now. So here we have a one to many. One to many. You're seeing two here, and it's going to two people at the same time, right? One to many. So let's see. This is not a function. However, it is a relation. So again, this is not a function. One to many is not a function. It is a relation. So you can see here, each element in the domain is mapped onto more than one element here, right? Let's look at 3. It's mapped onto to D and E. You follow? You're following?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, bear in mind the example with the mail, okay? And I'm not talking about email here. I'm talking about a physical letter. So let's say, B represent. Well, everybody knows that. Anyway, let me use another example. Let's just say B represents Tom and C represents Sanjay. And let's just say both of them happen to be born on the same day. Let's just say Cheyenne is number 2, right? Cheyenne is sending a letter. If Cheyenne writes one letter, of course Sanjay and Tom live at different places and whatever, right? Let's just say Cheyenne sending this one letter. Can this one letter go to both Tom and Sanjay at the same time?
No.
No, it's not possible, right? It's not making sense. And because of that, it is not referred to as a function. However, it is a relation. So again, one going to many is not a function. A one to many is not a function. Now, these mappings are very important to understand because they come all the time in the multiple choice. Bet your bottom dollar you're going to see it in the multiple choice. So you have to understand these diagrams here. So far we looked at one to one, we looked at many to one, and now we're looking at one to many, and we're saying that one to many is not a function. You all have any questions so far?
No, sir.
No, sir.
All right. So that's it for this handout in particular. Let me look at the next relations and functions handout. Just a minute. Okay, are you all seeing this one here?
Yes.
Okay. So test for a function. How do you test for a function? Again, this comes in the multiple choice, right? There is one more handout I have to give you all on relations and functions, but I didn't type it out as yet. So as soon as I'm finished typing it out, I will do it on the class with you all, and I will type it up and send it for you all after, right? I didn't get a chance to finish typing on that as yet because these things take a lot of time to do. So testing for a function. So as mentioned before, functions can be one-to-one or many-to-one relations. So we can tell if a graph represents a function by carrying out simple tests. The first one is called the vertical line test. This is a test that is used to determine if a relation is a function. And again, you all need to understand this because it comes in the multiple choice and they will give you a diagram and ask you to determine if the graph is a function or if the graph is not a function, and it's an easy mark to get in the multiple choice, right? So it states that if a vertical runs from top to bottom, right? Vertical comes this way, as you can see the red mark, right? And the horizontal, think of the horizon, think of yourself by a beach, and you see the sun setting on the horizon. That's lying down kind of in a way. It's this way across, and vertical is up and down. Okay. So it states that if a vertical line intersects the relations graph more than once, then the relation is not a function, right? The graph below passes the line test since the vertical line does not meet the curve, indicating that there is no one-to-one relation. So like in this case here, you have a graph here, right? If we were to draw a vertical line at any point in this graph, it will only touch at one point. You all seeing that?
Yes.
So that means that this is a function. However, let's look at this here. If we were to draw a line coming through here, it will cut at one or more points. So in other words, it will cut at 2 points. You follow? So this cannot be a
Yes.
function. All right? Let's look at this graph here. This is also not a function because it cuts the graph at 2 or more places. Yeah?
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
So any questions with respect to the vertical line test?
No.
All right.
I don't really understand that. Can you explain it again?
Sure, no problem. So the vertical line test is basically a test to determine if a relation is a function. If the vertical line vertical comes down like this way, if it cuts the curve, you're all seeing the curve here, this is referred to as a graph, right?
Yeah.
These lines here are graphs, right? If the line cuts the graph or the curve at more than 1 point, it is not referred to as a function. In this case, if you draw the line anywhere along this curve, it will cut only at 1 point, right? The curve is this blue thing here, this blue line here, right? This is the curve. Anywhere along here, you draw a vertical line coming down, it will cut only at 1 point. However, in this case, if you were to draw the line, it will cut at more than 1 point. So this is not a function. All right? This one as well. If you draw it at any point along this curve, it will cut at two or more points. So this is not a function. Yeah?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now sometimes they ask you to test for a one-to-one function. If ever in a multiple choice they ask you to test for a one-to-one function, you need to understand the horizontal line test. Now, what is the horizontal line test? This is very similar to the vertical line test, except it's the opposite. So this is a test used to determine if a function is one-to-one. If a horizontal line intersects a function's graph, intersects means cuts or touches a function's graph more than once, then the function is not one-to-one. All right? It is not one-to-one. So let's look at this here. As you can see, we drawing a dotted line. You all see the dotted line?
Yes, sir.
Right. So the dotted line cuts the graph at 1, 2, 3 points. So therefore, this is not a one-to-one. This is not a one-to-one function since the horizontal line cuts the graph at more than 1 point. You following?
Yeah.
All right. Let's look at this one here. If we were to draw a horizontal line, it will cut the graph. Any way you draw it, it will only cut the graph at 1 point. So this is a one-to-one function since the line cuts the graph at only 1 point. Y'all follow?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. So finding the range of a function. Okay, we will learn about this after, right? When I send you all the handout, you all could go through it after. Okay, but right now I want to get into the actual relations and functions thing. So let me just pull up the whiteboard here. Basically, relations and functions is like substitution. Everybody familiar with substitution, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let me pull up my notes. Right. So let's say I give you f of x maps on to 3x plus 4, and I ask you to find f of 2. Basically, f of 2 is this f of x thing here. Don't worry too much about the arrow, they just draw something to confuse all you. So f of 2 is equal to 3x, sorry, 3x plus 4. So basically, wherever you see x, you're putting 2.
So the answer is 10.
Correct. You figured that out all on your own, Emily. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. So yes, f of 2 is 10. Any confusions there?
No.
It's more or less straightforward, right? And very easy, and?
Yes, sir. I'm not gonna say it's easy, but yeah.
Okay, don't worry. I'm giving you all plenty to practice with. So I'm going to give you our next example. So this is number 2. F of x, you can write it differently. F of x is equal to x squared. And I want you all to find f of negative 1. Try that one for me. I'm giving you all less than a minute because, I mean, this is no rocket science.
1.
Correct. So let's see how we got that. So we want to find f of negative 1.
Emily cheated.
So f of negative 1 is x squared. F of negative 1 is equal to negative 1 squared. And of course, negative 1 squared is the same as negative 1 by negative 1, which is positive 1. Understood?
Sir, can you give us another one and have Emily not answer?
Yeah, sure, no problem. So Emily,
No.
y'all be quiet.
Oh gosh.
You're going
Mute
to
Emily, Mike.
But she can just unmute it after.
No, it's about admin session.
So number 3. So Emily, be courteous to your peers. Don't point your mic. If f of x maps on to x squared, that's not earlier. X.
So I will just mess.
Yeah, just message me. X squared plus 7x minus 6. I want you all to find for me. Number 1, f of 3. And number 2, f of negative 3. So I'm giving you all 2 minutes for that. And I would like for Bala to answer this question for me. And then Hawa will do number 2.
Now the number 6.
Bala, you're using a laptop or your phone?
Kind of both.
Okay, you all want to write on the screen or no?
Say it again.
Do you want to write on the screen?
I can't do that on my laptop.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, you could, Bala.
How?
Press annotate.
Okay, that'll just take too much time. But yeah, Emily, your answer is correct.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. Bala, you just tell me the answer and I'll write it, okay?
So we could use calculator.
Of course. But you have to show all working, right? Yeah, Cheyenne,
Emily
correct?
not doing work.
So I'm doing number 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
So you finish in half past 12 today?
What's that?
If we finish in 12:30 today.
Nah, 4:30. Yeah, boy, we finished in 12:30 today. Like, you have a date or?
Sorry, sir. It's taking me so long. I messed up.
How about how are you getting through? Cheyenne, you want to tell us your answer for the? You want to say your answer out loud so everybody can hear?
Me?
Well, yeah. You're the only Cheyenne.
24.
Correct.
21st one.
So let's see how Cheyenne got 24. We want to find f of 3 is equal to x squared plus 7x.
Sir, your mic, something's wrong with it.
Okay, sorry. Y'all hear me better now? Y'all hearing me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, sir, we hear.
Okay. So f of 3 is equal to 3 squared plus 7 into 3 minus 6. So 3 squared is 9. 7 3s are 21. So plus 21 minus 6. So f of 3 is equal, 21 plus 9 is 30. So f of 3 is 30 minus 6, which is 24. Right, Bala?
Yeah,
You understand it?
yeah, I get it.
Okay.
I get it now.
So f of negative 3 is equal to x squared plus 7x minus 6. So f of negative 3 is equal to negative 3 squared plus 7 into negative 3 minus 6. So negative 3 squared is 9. 7 3s are 21. The signs are different, so you find, well, it's negative. So f of negative 3 is equal to
Negative 36.
nope, negative 18. And that's the answer.
Okay.
Yeah? Okay, can I give you all some more to do?
Yeah, please.
Okay, I'm taking this off, right?
Yeah.
So let's see if anybody will figure this one out. Yes?
And when you square minus number, it will still be a minus.
No.
I think that.
Because if you
Okay.
have negative 2 and you square that, right? It's negative 2 multiplied by negative 2. And negatives are positive and 2 2s are 4.
Okay.
So I can answer these questions this time.
No. You choose
Number 1 is 625.
For these questions, I would like to call on Dion to give me one value of x, and I would like to call on Musa to give me an x value of x.
So work them out, right?
Well, yeah, of course.
So I got the answer.
What did you get?
625.
No.
What?
Dollars do.
You have to read the question.
5.
So let me explain my reasoning.
Okay, let me hear Bala first.
Explain
so-
your reasoning.
I had F25 equals, and since that's X, I had to substitute it with 25, right?
Uh-huh. And you found
And
25 squared.
Yeah.
Nope. Okay, Musa, what you have?
5, sir.
Positive or negative?
Positive.
Okay. All right. So let me do this one for you all then, right?
This
So
one, yeah, this one more confused.
I know. So
Yeah, I don't
f
know.
of x is equal to x squared, and I said f of x is also equal to 25. So that means that x squared is equal to 25. Agreed?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Right? And there are two ways you can do this. I'll do it on this side. The first way is to get rid of the square sign. And you do it on this side. So this cancels with this. So x is equal to 5. But whenever you are finding the square root of a number, it's not just 5 alone, right? It's either plus 5 or negative 5, right? Because negative 5 multiplied by negative 5 will also give you 25, and positive 5 multiplied by positive 5 will also give you 25. So that's why it's plus or minus negative 5. So that means that x is equal to negative 5, or x is equal to positive 5. If you all can't see it in that sense, I will do it another way for you. X squared is equal to 25, right? We're taking this 25 and we're carrying it across here. So x squared, it becomes minus 25 is equal to 0. And if you all notice, this is the difference between two squares here. Yeah? So we open two pairs of brackets. X, x. One is plus 5. One is minus 5. Of course, equal to 0. And then we split this 2 in half. X plus 5 equals 0. And x minus 5 equals to 0. And we carry the 5s across. So we get, in this case, you get x is equal to negative 5. And in this case, you get x is equal to positive 5. Sorry, negative 5 here. And x is equal to positive 5. You all understand it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Bala, you all okay?
So isn't this supposed to be done the same way as the questions before?
Because of how it was structured, no.
Alright. So just look for the structuring of the question and you'll be able to like tell the difference.
Correct. Because in this case here, as you could see here, right, they said f of x is equal to x squared, and they also said f of x is equal to 25. That means that the value of x is the same as the value of, that means that f of x, which is x squared, is the same as 25. So that means x squared is equal to 25. So that means that something squared will give us 25, and that answer is it can only be 5, whether it's positive 5 or negative 5, because if you use negative 5 and you square negative 5, you will still get positive 25, and if you use positive 5 and you square it, you will also get positive 25. So that's why the answer is positive 5 or negative 5. Yeah? So, we have time for a couple more questions before we move on to different types of relations and functions. I don't think we will be able to finish it this week. So next week when we start, we will do some different types and do some past papers with them. Okay? Because I don't have the past papers ready today in any case.
So when the meeting over, class?
What's that?
When the time for the meeting over, class finish?
Yeah. That being said, let me give you all two set of questions then.
Alright.
Real?
Yeah, because we will just have like about 7 minutes remaining.
Nice. Thanks, Musa.
So if there was right on the board,
Sir, I can text you the answer.
yeah. So I don't think you could possibly finish this question in 5 minutes, right? These two questions. So I'll give you all one for homework.
So I texted you the first answer.
Okay. Could you stop drawing on the screen, please? You could work it out for a while, right? And take a picture of the homework, a screenshot or something when I'm finished with it. Could you stop drawing on the screen?
Sir, I sent my answers.
Okay. So that's the homework, right? Okay. Who is drawing up on the stuff? Okay, who just did that? Can be
Sir,
correct.
I do the one. Oh, never mind.
I'll send you homework on the group chat, right? So let
I
me.
do one of the homework.
Okay.
I sent my answer to you.
Okay.
Me
So,
too, sir. You never look at.
okay. So let's correct
Yes.
quickly. Time
What's
is
my
running.
answer?
Time is running out.
So I got 13 for the first one.
Got what? 13?
13?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Gang.
So F. Okay, why is my
I got 31 for the second one.
Same. I feel like it's wrong.
I did not get
All
to
right,
one for the
let's
second
quickly
one.
correct because time running out. F of 4 is equal to 3 into 4 plus 1. F of 4 is equal to 12 plus 1. F of 4 is equal to 13. So if you got 13 correct, and of course we have to find the value of x if f of x is equal to 10. So basically all we have to say, anybody figure this one out?
You have to find
Yes.
for the value of x. So 10 is equal to 3x plus 1, and you find x like that.
Okay, let's see. So we'll just put it equal to 1 to 0 basically. So 3x is equal to 10. This 1 goes across, it becomes -1. So -1. 3x is
So
equal
x is equal to 3. I got
9.
it.
So x is equal to 9 over 3. X is equal to 3. And that's the value for x. Okay, so I think we have less than a minute now. So I'll just send you all the homework on the group chat, right? So next week when you come back, we will start off with composite functions. So Emily could just write down composite functions. So I'll remember to start off with composite functions. Right? And
Thanks.
that's it. Goodbye. I will see you all here next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye.
Bye.
Stay safe.